Hey guys, it's Miles. I just wanted to show you a game with this cool deck that I've been playing. So this is a Valencia deck without blackmail. What? I know. Basically because I just really like playing Reg Anarch, and Kim is cool and was really, really fun, but unfortunately he keeps getting blown out by asset spam, and this sucks. So what I've done is put together, I've got myself some scrubbers, I've got myself some mining accidents, and the plan is you sort of turn yourself into Super Wiz. It's pretty good. It's got like some rough matchups, but that's okay. It's pretty good against any kind of Glacier co-op. It's pretty good against Ag Infusion because you got Employee Strike. It's pretty good. It's Titan's probably the hardest one that's around at the moment, and just going fast. But we put in a ton of card draw, so we've got 3 I've had worse inject. We've got 3 Street Peddler. Street Peddler is amazing in Valencia because of that sweet, sweet bad pub synergy. 3 Earthrise and 2 Obelisks, which I've been really loving because you got like your only multi-axis is like Maker's Iron leg work, and same old thing. But just getting that steady drip off Obelisk is really, really nice. And then you have Tapworm, cool card, makes the corp waste their time. It's good, I recommend it. And then there's just like good Anarch cards. It's really fun. Give it a go, check out the video. See you next time. Hey guys, it's Miles here. I'm re-recording the audio for this one because it didn't quite work out how I wanted to. Basically what we're going to do is just look at this really cool game I played against Ag Infusion using my Val list. Kept this opening hand because it's got career fair and money and employee strike, and employee strike is the real thing you want to see. So right here is interesting because my employee plays Celebrity Gift, shows he's a complete lunatic playing bias reporting and News Hound and Breach Dome in his deck for reasons, which unfortunately makes me really scared of archives all the time. So all we're doing is just drawing money up. This is a pretty straightforward Reg Arnuk deck, but I like it a lot. We see here that my opponent's just trying to build up, set up a scoring server. Seems pretty good. He's going to stick Marcus Batty, he's going to stick Obokata in there. Can I steal that Obokata? Maybe. That I've had worse makes me think that, yeah, maybe I actually can. We've got Obelisk. I like Obelisk in this deck quite a lot. It's not strictly necessary, but, you know, because it helps you draw cards so much, you don't really get the multi-draw off it anymore because you don't have medium or anything like that. But you do luckily get to occasionally just get that good value off a Maker's Eye or Legwork, something like that. It's more about the constant card draw than anything. So my opponent sticks what is almost definitely a Marcus Batty into that remote. Could be a Breach Dome if he's a complete madman, which we have already established he kind of is. And I'm thinking pretty hard about deactivating that now, but I probably should have, to be honest, just gone in and done something about it immediately. But I really like the I've had worse in my hand, and I really want to get that paperclip into the bin so I can take advantage of the bad pub. May have been a mistake to become Eddie Kim here. I think Null or Rayner had really strong value that game as well. Null's actually really kind of good to rebirth into. Turns out that my opponent did not in fact put a baddie in there, but just put the Obokata straight in. So what we decided to do is play a strike, which is of course amazing against Sag Infusion, and just get on in there. Opponent goes the data loop. He's going for the classic combo data loop, and Obokata. It's really great, but luckily for us, we have 2 of I've had worse in hand, so we just don't care at all. So we're just going to get draw off this. We decided to ditch the dirty laundry, which again may be a mistake, but I decided that the daily cast was more necessary for like ongoing econ, and that the data sucker is of course pretty crucial for us to have access to. This is really annoying to break for us, which is a shame. Should have just taken the trace, again a bit of a mistake, and we take the net damage, draw a swirling cards, and are pretty happy with ourselves. And then we get the cast down at the end of the turn. So it turns out to be a really nice little turn. We just get 3 points, get a cast down, and that's why Obokata is. It's really good, but it's not the best agenda in the history of the world, you know. We could have even let him score it, and he kind of got a bit, you know, because he would have lost so much tempo doing it. He gets a little bit cheeky on us here, getting that scarcity of resources down. But we decided to just steal an agenda off the top of R&D and win. Would have been great. That's usually a pretty good play, as if you don't know what you're doing, is just get into R&D and, I don't know, hope for the best, try and clear that scarcity. My opponent thinks pretty hard before rezzing, and eventually decides to let me through. Unfortunately for me, I managed to hit a Breach Dome, and he snipes the second employee strike off the top of my deck. That really sucks, because Ag Infusion is hard to deal with without employee strike. Luckily, though, he's still poor, so we decided to just keep getting in there, try and get some value off Mr. Eddie Kim, try and get some extra accesses. We see a Kakugo here. It's, Kakugo is a pretty good ice at the moment. On HQ, it's not as bad as it could be. I'd be much more scared to see that on, for example, R&D or the scoring server, where you have to do it a few times. Sniping the hedge fund here is pretty good. There's obviously no value in putting the tapeworm down whatsoever. Probably should have run R&D there, just on the off chance of stealing an agenda, but I'm really worried about getting booped into that archives there, because that would suck. We hard install a liberated account for roughly 4 million credits and just take some money, and my opponent just sits there with the baddie in the remote, and a fairly annoying series of things going on. Newshound is a really, really good piece of ice. This is a cool thing. My opponent plays biased reporting, but because we've got bin breakers and bad pub, we just decided to throw them in the bin because we're way richer than he is, and I think I can make more money than he can. We'll see if that pays off. But I mean, I have 17 credits and he has 4. I'm pretty happy to see that. Hopefully we can just get into R&D and steal something and get rid of this scarcity of resources. Not today though. But Obelisk is still getting us there, luckily. Get a gamble down. Just keep setting up. Mining accident is really, really nice to see here because it just gives us sweet bad pub. Always draw before you do things. That's the lesson. And basically we're just getting constant value. So there's a Nisei in the remote, we assume. And I'm not really sure why I decided this. I think, oh no, we did go for it. I was memorizing this wrong. So basically data loop is just a hassle to deal with. But data suck gets us through. So Ag infuses us into archives. I am confused about how Ag infusion and archives works briefly and have to check. But luckily I can jack out. That's pretty sweet. And we just go back in again. Ag infusion is like such a strong ability. It's just built-in Nisei counters. But really my mistake here was just playing around traps too much and putting all this stuff on top of my deck. I really should have been more concerned with just dealing with what I knew to be a Marcus baddie, because if I lose the side game, it just sucks. Sucks. So we do get baddied here. And we do lose, but he goes to 0 to score this Nisei that's going to come up here. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen to lose to that. Mega poor. We have access to R&D. Obelisk is going to draw us cards. And hopefully, yeah, so we get to smash an IPO. We love rebirthing into Kim. That's the best thing. Just smash. And so Kim has gotten us some decent value. We got like a hedge fund. We got an IPO. Both things that he really did want to see. Just preventing him from digging himself out of this hole here. And he's obviously just terrified of booping us at any point, which I really like. I'm really glad about. Because, you know, Ag Infusion's scary and I don't want to go into that archives with breach domes and stuff. We're just going to keep running archives. And by archives I mean R&D, because we're going to single access our way to victory like an old school criminal. And then we're going to run HQ, we're just going to make money, we're going to do all the good stuff, and we're going to R&D, do a little bit of a soft R&D lock while he clicks for credits here. He's got a Cobra in hand that does nothing, and a second Cobra I believe that we've seen that does nothing, or a Cortex lock, excuse me, that does nothing. And we're just going to keep accessing. Oh, we see it. Get to smash a targeted marketing because this guy wants to play all the currents in the entire world, which is pretty cool, because he just wants his Newshound up. Oh, very sad here. See a second scarcity of resources. So we kind of need to just get this tapeworm down and do something annoying here, because if he purges, it's really good for us because we just, you know, keep going. We just keep smashing R&D. If he clicks for credits, as he does here, he's still going really slowly. We get a tiny bit of value off tapeworm. We kind of can't play Dirty Laundry because of Ag Infusion really buggering us up here. Maybe should have Dirty Laundry to HQ. Could have been a better play. But either way, he's very concerned about letting us get through here. What do we see? Nothing in particular. And Eddie Kim just didn't do what I wanted it to do. Given as we have 400 cards in hand, we can safely Dirty Laundry HQ. Oh, hey, no Bacata Protocol. You know what? All day, every day. All day, every day on that Obicata. No worries at all. With the Makers in hand, we can hopefully just smash that for the victory, but we really need to get Ag Infusion's ability out of the way first. So let's just hit R&D, try and clear it out. We just need to get that ice res so that we can Makers. That's the real key here. We've got to be able to deal. DNA Trucker, yeah, big scary ice. We got money. We can deal with it. We get through and we manage to see an essay for the win. Fantastic. That was a really fun game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Alright, we are back with a game against Titan Transnational. This is a very, very scary matchup. We mulligan this hand because it just doesn't have enough draw in it for my liking. We can beat Titan, but it's rough. We're a slow deck, they're a fast deck. Sometimes we can take a while to get set up because it's just, you know, it's a 30 card deck and then, sorry, a 50 card deck. If it was a 30 card deck, I would be incredibly happy. And sometimes with a 50 card deck, you don't quite get what you need, so you have to get a little bit lucky sometimes. He's got a pretty good start with the Double Ice Hedge Fund. We're just going to try and draw cards, basically. So set up our Authorized to draw. He's got a pretty good start here as well with the... Apart from the Double Ice Hedge Fund, he's going to get a Priority Construction out here, which is going to be pretty crucial for him this game. Just getting that triple advanced ice. It's pretty good, especially if you're doing the Trick of Lightning. All we want to do here is get our breakers and we want to get our money lined up. That's the key. Legwork is a nice card to have because of, you know, dealing with atlases, but it's not always going to get you where you want to go. We're just trying to get money, just draw our cards, get breakers ready for us to access here. Our opponent slam jams an Oaktown Renovation into the remote. Pretty good for him. And we can't really challenge it because Hoard'em is the most terrifying thing. Instead of that, we just go for a slightly insanely risky Dirty Laundry in the HQ. I'm not quite sure it was the greatest play in the history of the world, but, you know, sometimes you just do that because, well, it's scary. We access a mass commercialization, so he's going to make money at some point, but that's not really our concern here. The Hoard'em is just terrifying for me because if he can search for an Atlas, it just ruins us. And we don't have access to our Black Orchestra yet, so what are we going to do? We're going to live in fear and we're going to draw into a mining accident that we can play to at least hopefully slow him down. If not get bad pub, slow him down a bit. And our opponent chooses here to just lose the 5 because he's got Oaktown and he can get his tempo up pretty easily. So discarding Scrubber, not useful here. This Val is teched reasonably towards asset spam because that has been my biggest issue with Reg Anarch in the time I've been sort of experimenting with it over the last course of the new meta. So we've got double Scrubber, we've got a Slums, as you can see, which I'm keeping here to hedge sort of against CVS. It's not a major consideration, but it's like slightly more valuable than Slums. Than the Scrubber, I'm sorry. So we can get a Sucker down and at least start challenging his central service here because Sucker is the kind of card that, you know, does incite corporations into resing when they might not otherwise. We can sort of read that this might be like a Colossus or an Archer or something here. And just getting some drip econ going. Again, maybe not the best play. I don't know. Probably should have run a bit more aggressively here. But just got to try and draw those cards and get that Black Orchestra up. So he has his HQ, obviously. Telegraphing a little bit here. Drawing up. Makers is a pretty good card. Turning Wheel is a very good card, but instead we just decide, better stabilize, better have a nice, strong money lead going into the mid-game as much as humanly possible. My opponent is just drawing up here, so he knows what he wants. He wants his Atlas. If you played this deck at all, the Atlas is really, really crucial to winning, basically. IP block is like fine for us. We just get to data sucker and paperclip our way through it. It's not a huge deal. And I hope this opens up our way to the Maker's Eye later on, which is obviously pretty important. Okay, getting through, we see Hostile Takeover, which is obviously pretty good because he wants that. And that makes our life a bit easier. Getting a second bad pub because he avoided our mining accident would also have been pretty sweet. But what are you going to do? Jam's in the remote here. Again, I'm too scared of Fordham to go check it. Don't know. Maybe that's a Chris Grid on R&D. Ooh. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's disappeared somewhere. Who knows? Going for the advance. Yeah, okay. Okay, so just Trick of Light basically gets him there. It's time for us to start working, so we're going to rebirth here. We're going to rebirth into Mr. Kim, our favorite smasher, and we are going to try and break some of his stuff. We've got to get those fast advance ops out of there. That's the key here. It's really, really important. What are we going to see? We're going to hopefully get something good. IPO, that goes in the bin. Kim Smash. Kim Smash is good smash. Preemptive, sure, don't even care about that at all. What else are we going to see? GFI, ooh, that's good. 3 points now. 3 points to 4, but he's got an Atlas counter, and Atlas counters are the scariest thing. Opponent scores a hostile, putting him on 5 points. Now we are really in a rough spot. All he needs now is either a fast advance tool or an Atlas, and he wins. We unfortunately drew our employee strike 2 turns too late. That is a real bummer, and we need to try and get our Tapworm down as well to try and make some money and just keep being able to pressure him. Luckily, we finally found our Black Orchestra, but it just came too little too late. That strike and that orchestra really just 2 turns too late. If we got them a little bit earlier, this game would have gone very differently. But again, that's what you do sometimes when you play a humongo deck. You just don't quite get it. He advances some ice, planning to mass commercialize my ass in the not too distant future, and I know that it's time to legwork. Because he could win, and I don't want that. What are we going to do? See a second employee strike that we can't use. Go for the straight R&D run. Probably should have legworked here. You know what? That's my bad. But I can kind of read that he doesn't have it in his hand. So we get the Atlas off the top. Nice top deck there. Really, really powerful. I sort of thought that he didn't have it in his hand. I was kind of hoping I could get Kim Smash, but what I should have done in retrospect was just straight legwork him. And hopefully smash either the Trick of Light or the fast. Either a Trick of Light or a Project Atlas from his hand. It was not to be, unfortunately, and my opponent wins the game quite handily with Atlas, and that's cool. So slow decks lose to fast decks a lot of the time. It was still a really close game. I think this deck's really neat. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.